Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special Saturday night edition of a stream that we do every so often. As you probably know, we're doing this one because you guys paid for it. So, what we're doing tonight is a Hot Ones Ask Me Anything. We reached the milestone at which I said that I would do this. I have my Josh with me, live in person. He's agreed to help me with this. I can't thank him enough for putting himself through the same suffering that I'm going to go through because I signed up for this. I guess you signed up for it too by volunteering. Why are we here? We are here for Extra Life. And specifically, we are supporting Sick Kids Hospital, a wonderful hospital that has helped many children. And Extra Life is a charity organization that partners with Children's Miracle Network hospitals to get people who play games, and that's any sort of games, involved in helping their local children. Tonight, we are focusing on hot sauces. And more specifically, we have some donation incentives out there for you to increase my suffering. There are 9 of them available still. The last dab was already taken. But if you are inclined to want to help make things a little bit more challenging, those are there. As always, I am matching every donation at this point. We are closing in on the goal line, so anything that you can do to help, if you're inspired to, we would very much appreciate it. Josh, thank you for joining with me tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
I enjoy watching you suffer.
I know you do. So, how do we want to get started? I guess we'll just dive in, right? We'll start with hot sauces.
I think it's best we start with the first one. I mean, it's pretty basic early hot sauce. We'll get into some questions after we start this first hot sauce, and believe me, it starts off a little bit okay. It's gonna get a little bit not okay towards the end, but
I feel like, because I gave you the scorecard on all of them.
you did.
I feel like we got two peaks that we have where we start out and then we take a jump, and then we start it again, and then we take another jump.
Yeah, there's a big jump, like right in the middle here. There's a larger jump, but it's really the last two. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We have 10 hot sauces here in front of us. We're gonna show them to you as we eat them, and for the first 8, it's a pretty steady progression. There's a pretty solid progression to each hot sauce. The last 2, it's basically just the other 8 didn't really matter. Those 2 are just hot, beyond hot. So that's kind of gonna be interesting when we get there.
All right, so I'm gonna start off. We're starting from away from the camera, moving towards the camera, and our first one here is the brand is Supernova. It is their garlic jalapeno. I'm just going to bring it up to the camera so you will see that is it there. Got a bit of glare there, but I hope you can read that. Personally, I enjoy this one.
Yeah, I feel like based on what I know about this one, this is going to be a good one.
So it's 1,000 Scoville, and in my personal opinion on this, I don't think it's as much of a hot sauce as it is a nice flavoring addition. So I am just going to load that right on here because
tap that right away.
I know exactly what we're doing. And
I'm gonna grab that one.
Just see here. I don't think anyone who. Nope, we do not have anything coming in here as far as me needing to add extra of that one. So we'll pass on that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
okay.
Let's take that one. Cheers. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You can get the garlic in there. Mm-hmm.
You cook with that. Nice flavor that's added into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's definitely a hot sauce, but it's like it's a pretty mild hot sauce. Like, I feel like you don't need to be a hot sauce person to enjoy that. Because that doesn't really linger. Like it kind of dissipates pretty quickly. It's got that really, really big garlic throughout all of it.
And if you're a fan of garlic,
yeah, if you like a garlic sauce, that really fits in there because it's just tasty, right? And then it's got a little spice in the end, lingers for a tiny bit, but doesn't really last.
Yeah. So,
all right.
First one's down. There we go.
First one's down. We need to get into some questions for you.
Let's do it.
Now, if you're watching live, ask questions in chat. We will answer those more immediately than anything else. I have a prepared free list that I can ask Jimmy so that we can have some conversation going, but we will prioritize anything that comes in chat if questions get asked. Family friendly, but other than that,
yes,
we will talk about whatever comes in.
I will say this much. You can ask the questions that aren't family friendly, you just will not get the answer.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, we got a couple of questions beforehand.
We did.
And I figure the best place is to start with those because you know they're coming. And so we might as well answer those ones out the gate. And then we'll get into some of the ones that you don't really know are coming later on as things get a little bit more challenging.
I appreciate that. Yeah, let's go with that.
So we'll start out with the first ones. These are from some of your friends within the community of Jira and community leaders.
Yes.
So we'll start with the first one. Is it true that you had a brilliant career as an underwear model before becoming a Jira admin?
So first, I'm just going to thank Theodora and more specifically George for this question. I appreciate it.
I'm excited to hear about this.
I know that I have the physique that would just scream underwear model. Unfortunately, that is just a blatant rumor. No truth to it at all.
Oh.
Along with the same as the rumor that I might have auditioned for Chippendale Dancers.
Oh, okay. Okay. Those are rumors.
100% rumors.
We can set those to bed. They are not true, everybody.
Yes, not true at all. In fact, before I was a Jira administrator, actually did work for an Atlassian competitor.
Oh, that's even more scandalous than the underwear model answer. Oh my goodness.
All right, so do you want to go into the next one, or do we want to go into the next hot sauce?
So I think we should start going into the next hot sauce, and I'm going to ask you the question as you down this
Fair enough.
This piece, because I think you need to answer this while still dealing with the hot sauce.
That's fair. So the next one we have in line, and I should have mentioned, so the Supernova jalapeno garlic was 1,000 Scoville.
You did say that.
I did say that?
You did say that.
Okay, awesome. I am losing track of where I'm at. We're moving into Frank's Red Hot Extra Hot, and yes, I'm looking at a cheat sheet that I have on all of this on a side monitor.
We have information everywhere to keep us on track.
I'm just going to bring that up here. Frank's Red Hot. You will find this at any local grocery store.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Everybody knows Frank's Red Hot.
The one thing I want to point out that I find interesting is it says it's imported by McCormick's Canada, which is actually in my hometown of London.
Oh,
so,
very nice.
Something I didn't know until I just happened to look at the back of it earlier tonight. So Frank's Red Hot. I mean,
extra hot, you said, right?
Extra
Frank's
hot.
Red Hot,
Yes.
extra hot. We're looking at extra hot sauce. This is 2,000, so we've already doubled our initial investment here.
Again, this is one that I enjoy for cooking purposes, so I have no problems in just loading some extra in there.
Uh-oh.
And I will give you that, and I'm just
Thank
going to make
you.
sure that we don't have anyone asking for some extra going on there. We do not, so what I have chosen to do is what it needs to happen.
All right, we ready for this one?
I think we're ready.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, yeah, that's Frank's.
So, there's definitely a blatant vinegar taste.
Yep.
It's super cheap, though. That would be my statement.
Yep.
If you want something that's going to give you a kick, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, this is my go-to for that type of thing. Because everything else on the table here is not very cheap.
Yeah. The interesting part about that is that I almost find that less spicy than the first one, because the first one is actually proper jalapeno flavored rather than vinegar flavored, right?
Yep.
So like Frank's, it's got that like immediate like, oh yeah, there's a kick, but then it just it dissipates instantly, and there's just nothing. Whereas the other one, as much as it didn't linger, it tasted of jalapenos, which are spicy. So like they're almost equal in terms of how actual hot they are.
Yeah. Yes, the extra hot is rated at 2,000.
Yeah.
The regular one is significantly lower.
Yeah. All right, so let's get you this next question. So this is the other question that you're prepared for.
Right.
And I'm really interested to hear more explanation around this question.
That's fair.
As well as the answer, because I'm excited to hear the answer. So the question would be, if the world would end unless you kill one of the founders of Atlassian, which one would it be? Scott or MCB, and why?
Yeah, so I appreciate, first off, Funman Andy, thank you for this question.
Oh, this is from Funman.
This is from Funman Andy.
Oh.
Also, thank you for adding the last dab in. I will hate you when I get there.
Thank you for that.
I appreciate having some time to think about this answer. Because let's start with the first thing. I have seen both Scott and MCB.
I don't know. I don't.
And
can
I
you
should
explain a little bit more
clarify.
about Scott and MCB?
MCB, his name is Mike Cannonbrooks.
Okay.
Scott Farquaad, they're both the co-founders of Atlassian.
Of Atlassian, okay.
Which is a software company that I am heavily involved in their ecosystem.
Yep.
So if you take aside the stuff they do for Atlassian, the stuff they do outside of Atlassian, just with the philanthropical work that they do, I know Mike bought a coal plant in Australia just to shut it down. Like, he's all over green energy. Scott's all over the place doing things. So I feel as though killing either of them is doing the world a disservice, to be honest, because they are also one of the founders of Pledge 1%. And if you're not familiar with that, Pledge 1% was a number of organizations got together and said, we are going to give up 1% of our profits, our equity, our product or service, and our employees' time to charitable organizations. My company, Arctic Wolf, recently joined it. That's why I have been doing more Extra Life streams as a part of that. So these guys are doing a lot of good things in the world. So it's really hard to sort of say either of them. However, if I have to pick one, I'm going to have to pick MCB, and that's only because at Team 22, I actually met Scott. Sat across from him at the community leader dinner. Like, I was as far away from you as I was from him. I've never actually met Mike in person. So Mike, this is my challenge to you. I will be at Team 23. Please find me and change my mind. And I think that's the best way I can answer.
I think that's fair. I mean, you could have also said you just let the world end.
I could have, but I mean, that's letting the world end.
It's true. I'm just saying. You did technically have a third option there.
That's true.
If you get into philosophy, there's a lot more you could go there.
That's fair. No,
So,
you have a good point.
Yeah. But all right, so we got MCB as the choice. Poor MCB getting murdered to save the world.
And I'll say this much. He has also done an amazing TED Talk on imposter syndrome. If you have not watched it, go watch it. You'll probably, if you suffer from imposter syndrome and you don't even know you suffer from it, it's worth watching just to realize that, oh my god, that's been my problem this entire time.
That's what's been happening?
Yes.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, should we get into another one of these?
Yes.
We got a bunch to go through, and I want to get to some of these hot ones.
The hot sauces or the hot questions?
Oh, the hot questions.
So, the next one up, and I'll point out, I tried to pick a random assortment of sauces, both in the flavors that are there, as well as the heat. So a number of these I have not actually tried. Ooh. So this would be the first one of those, which is number 7. It's a Mexican hot sauce. It's a peri peri sauce. And it comes in at 8,000 Scoville. So we're jumping again from 2 to 8.
Yep.
Let me just get that up there.
So we doubled, and now we're doing 4 times. So we're definitely we're leaping and bounding so far.
Now I have no idea what this one is going to end up being like. There's a bit of crusty on the top there, which I'm going to try and shake in. What's just going to stay there? Okay. So I'm going to take the first on this, which may force a little bit extra onto mine, but I will take
the tap.
I will take that hit if that's what ends up happening.
The tap. I'm just watching this hot sauce come out. I want to see what happens to him.
There we go. Okay, got a little bit at a time.
A little bit at a time.
I'm just waiting for like that
just
explosion. Yes.
And then you have to eat it anyways, because we're not taking any off.
Oh no, I will not take any off. You're welcome to take some off if you want.
Oh no. This is what it is. What happens, man.
Alright, I'm gonna shake again. Really try and get that. There we go. Okay, you know what? I think that's covered well enough, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Pass that over to you.
Thank you very much.
I'm
gonna do another shake, my own personal shake.
That's fair.
Before we do this one, just because I don't trust you.
Okay with that. So we don't have any extra added in here either. So I'm not gonna have to.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get there, Jimmy. We'll get there.
Okay.
That's happening sooner or later. Okay.
That's fair. So.
Oh, there it was. It happened. It happened.
Are you doing it?
Oh yeah.
All right.
We're going to survive this or not, one way or another.
All right.
Ready to do this?
Yes.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. That's a good sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Penne sauce is really good.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that's really delicious. Like, the flavors in that.
The first thing that hit me was tomato, to be honest. And I'm like, wait, I wasn't expecting a tomato hit.
Yeah, it's actually more of a tomato sauce than it is a hot sauce almost. Like, it's...
I will be cooking with that one later.
That's very tasty. Like, the amount that I had on there, still, once again, like, the Scoville units is saying it's really hot, but it's not hitting me in the same way because the flavors, the natural flavors of the tomato and everything are masking a little bit of the heat that's in there and making it so much more than just, here's some hot in your face.
Now, I've also heard from Hot Ones specifically that because we're doing so many of them in a row,
it's going to get worse.
But just because of the different types of flavors, some of them that are rated higher not taste as hot just because of everything else that you've done, and
yeah, that's fair. I believe that. I definitely believe that. All right.
Things I'm not necessarily prepared for now.
Yeah, let's get a little bit more little bit more questions going on here. Okay. We'll deviate now. So you don't know any of these other than some of the topics that we've talked about. That we can kind of generally chat about. But you brought it up earlier, so I figured I'd jump straight to one of my own personal questions.
Okay.
That I really want to hear an answer from.
Yeah.
And I just feel like this is the time to get a proper answer out of you for this.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So. Here is the question. And I've written in essay form, but I expect it, just verbal essay, obviously. You don't have to provide a written essay unless you like. You can.
No,
so in essay form, explain why Paladins are objectively the worst class in every game or system.
Oh my god. I hate you right now. So... I need to provide some context first.
Do you?
For anyone that's, possibly. I don't know who else is watching, so the context I'm going to provide is, if you aren't a regular watcher here, I generally play a Paladin a lot. And I am feeling personally attacked by this question, in the why they are objectively terrible at all times.
No.
But I do have an answer for you.
Yeah, and that's why I want to hear.
So, I'm going to say the reason I play a Paladin is because I have always believed in the best offense is a strong defense. So, it doesn't matter how long it takes me to kill an enemy. If it's just mosquito bites that are attacking me, I'm okay to just face tank it. And I like the brain dead version of not having to avoid attacks, which is probably why I hate Dark Souls so much. To just sort of stand there and take the hits. That's why I enjoy a Paladin. And then, Paladins always have at least some form of healing. Like, if they don't have a form of healing, they are a warrior or some other type of fighter class. They're not actually a Paladin. A Paladin has to have something that allows them to heal, even if it's 1 point of health.
And if they're not tanky, then they're just a cleric.
No, that's not true. Because clerics are actually pretty tanky. But that's a different conversation. We're not talking about clerics today. So why are they objectively terrible? So the reason that they're objectively the worst.
The worst. Not terrible. Objectively the worst.
So I think D&D is the best way to start with that.
Okay.
I played with some friends at the beginning of the pandemic for almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the only time I was useful in combat as a paladin was when we were fighting the undead. Anything else, I couldn't hit things. When I did damage, I did next to no damage.
Mm-hmm.
My role was to stand next to the enemy so that our rogues had sneak attack and could do all the damage. And because I don't take any hits, because I'm too tanky, it was perfectly okay for me to just sort of stand there and let enemies slog at me, and I would cast my minor healing spells on myself because no one else is getting attacked.
Okay.
So objectively, they're the worst because they require a team in order to be effective. You will not be effective as a paladin by yourself. And if you're going to try and argue that in World of Warcraft, I will have you take a look at trying to be a protection paladin by yourself. It's terrible. I've done it. I won't do it again. Mainly because it's World of Warcraft. I won't do it again.
So you know that I have a saying for you that you're basic. So
Yes.
So what you're saying is you're confirming
Paladins are
that
100% basic.
You're basic. You like the basic,
Yes.
and they're the worst because they are the basic. Yeah. Okay.
That's
All
it.
right. So you go for the baseline at all times, easiest out possible.
Okay, well
basically.
let's confirm that, right?
Okay.
StarCraft, I play the Terrans. Warhammer, I started with the Space Marines.
Yeah. Basic.
Pick any
MMO,
RPG.
RPG or anything.
I play Paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of my go-to and I should say the reason I do that is I do a lot of thinking throughout the day. You and I work together. You know the type of environment that you and I both came from.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, don't want to have to think anymore.
You're just done thinking.
I just want to stand there and laugh as things roll off of me.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
I want to be the Dark Souls boss. Let's put it that way. I want to just laugh at this idiot that's trying to poke me with a needle, and then I just swipe him once and he's done.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? That's a good idea for a game.
Be the Dark Souls boss?
Yes, be the Dark Souls boss. And I'm talking like waves of hundreds of guys that are just coming at you. And it's kind of like a zombie mode of how long can you survive?
Sorry for everybody on stream. I've done a little bit of training as a game designer, so my brain immediately goes to how could I mechanically make that work and interesting and viable as a video game. Anyways, I'll stop that chain. All right, let's get on to our next one here.
So
Ginger goat.
I appreciate this one for one reason. Ginger Goat's actually local to us.
Oh, nice.
They are in Conestoga.
Very nice.
So for anyone who is in our region, and I'll just point out, we are in the middle of southwestern Ontario. Kitchener does a rib fest. These guys were there.
Okay, yeah.
We were too busy getting booze instead of going and seeing Ginger Goat, but...
That's fair.
Yeah, so I picked up because I thought it was appropriate knowing goats and Thor... This is Peaches and Screams.
Peaches and Screams.
Peaches and Screams.
Peaches and Screams. So we're making another little leap here. So our last one was at 8. This one is 30. So 30,000 Scoville here. So once again, we're doing a little bit of a leap. It's gonna be exciting to see how this one goes. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. Local.
I think, and this was one of their more tame ones. They have a lot hotter ones than this one. So, but I had a lot of hot sauces when I went this one up, so I didn't feel right. I do want to try, like, the concept that there were peaches in this is what actually really intrigued me more than anything.
Yeah.
And we have no additional extra dabs, so I will keep it at the modest amount I have done right now. Since we already know I'm doing a last dab, I'm going to save the too much heat for later. Cheers.
Cheers. Interesting. That is very interesting flavor.
I immediately flipped that and put the sauce directly on my tongue.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I got peaches. I got ginger immediately.
Yep.
They're called Ginger Goat. I would expect some ginger. That was tasty.
It hit me towards the end because I did the opposite. So like I got through most of the meat before I got that peaches flavor. So that's a little bit more of a lingering heat. Like it's sticking with me. It's still there. But that peaches, like that fruity peach is not something I'd expect from a sauce like that. But it actually works really well with the spice level in there.
I'll say this much. For what I was hoping for by getting Peaches and Screams, I got exactly what I was expecting out of it.
Yeah.
I got peaches.
I got peaches. No screams, but
well,
the screams part is more fun than it is.
Yes, but that was good sauce.
That was real tasty. I quite enjoyed that. Like I could definitely see myself putting that on to something or mixing it in a sauce that I make. Like
that would actually be
like that'd be a great mixer of like, you know, making a hot sauce for some wings and like adding that as the spice into a very basic barbecue or something. And very nice. Oh, that was tasty.
I want to do that on pork tenderloin on the barbecue. That's like just when you started mentioning barbecue sauce, I'm like, I could totally just slather that on the pork tenderloin, put it on the barbecue, and
put it on the barbecue and just oh yeah. Oh yeah, I could
just
see.
let it caramelize on.
Oh, okay, yeah. Or on some pork chops, like some good.
Absolutely.
I did pork chops today on the barbecue, and it was just.
Yes.
So, just tossing that in there. Oh,
yep.
Yeah, that would be really good. All right.
So what do you got for me?
All right, let's get into some other questions. So, since we have nothing coming in right now, we're gonna go to some of our more generalized topics. So we have less of a focused in. Target question and just kind of some topics that I'd like to chat with you about here. Some different pieces of information that I or the stream may not know about that I'd like to hear more about. So we're gonna start with some of the ones that I know are focused around the games you'll be playing on game day. So for those people who don't know, on the stream, you can check out Jimmy's page on.
I will just throw a link in the chat.
Yeah, toss the link in there. So that page there for Extra Life, you'll be able to check out the schedule that Jimmy has posted for some of the games that he will be playing on game day.
Also, if you go to the channel schedule, I've already got everything up there. So if there's anything in particular that you are interested in watching today, you can actually set a reminder and it will remind you on game day when I'm going to be.
Yeah. So I want to get into a couple of questions surrounding some of the not specific games, but the because I know all of these games kind of come from areas of interest of yours or focuses. One of the first ones on there that I want to talk about being Sword Art. So Sword Art Online is a large area of interest for you specifically, I know of.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a lot between you and I. You know, we've watched the show. We've played a couple of the games ourselves. I know you've read some of the original manga.
Watch the abridged on YouTube.
We've watched the abridged.
I recommend if you haven't seen the abridged.
Abridged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad sent something. We'll take a look at that in a second.
We'll look at that in a second. So Sword Art Online is just a big area of interest. You are playing one of the games on the stream.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting to see, you know, how you do that in your sleep deprived state. But I want to ask you a couple of questions surrounding Sword Art.
Yeah.
So the first one being like, how did you first like learn about it, like get into reading, watching, like hearing about Sword Art Online? Like, how did this come about as an interest for you?
I have the most uninteresting way I got into Sword Art.
Okay.
But I should point out that, and I'll just start with that. So it was about midnight or 1 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. So I turn on Netflix and I have a recommendation for this new thing that they have called Sword Art Online. I'm like,
okay,
what's anime? So I click on it just to read the details. And when they start, you know, explaining it that it's these people trapped in a game, I'm like, wait, is this like a newer version of Dot Hack? Because I 100% saw Dot Hack as an anime show itself and played a couple of those games, fell in love with that because it was, you know, kids trapped in an MMO.
Okay.
Because there were viruses that were, you know, holding them in there, and I'm like, that's really cool. So reading the summary of it, I'm like, I'll watch one episode. I'll give it one episode.
Okay.
And you know, the first episode was really good. You know, it didn't cover a lot because it just set up the world that you're in.
Yeah, yeah.
Set up the premise for the game that was being played, and I think everyone knows here I'm a massive gamer. That should come as no surprise. So
shocking.
The concept had me super intrigued. The MMO itself, there were a lot of parallels I could draw to Final Fantasy XI, which was the online
Which
one.
was what you were playing at the time.
No. I was playing 14 at the time. 11 was an older one, and they had a much more unforgiving leveling system in that, because everything was unforgiving in the day that started. But if you go back and do a bunch of research, you'll see that Reki Kawawaka, who wrote it when Final Fantasy XI would have been out. So he wrote it during an age when MMOs were fairly unforgiving in the way in which you had to level. Everything was grinding. There was no easy to find quests. There was no guided path. There was no I click one button and everything explodes. That just didn't exist. So
not yet.
I watched the first season, which on Netflix ended up being the first 2 seasons. So it covered both the Aincrad arc and the Alfheim arc, and the Aincrad arc really captivated me. The World of Swords, I really enjoyed it. So I got the manga books and the light novels because everyone was saying the anime is crap. You need to read the novels because they've missed so much. And I will say, they have missed a fair bit of details. And then more importantly, because he wasn't happy with what he did, because he skipped from like day 1 to, 2 years later, he wrote a couple of supplements that helped fill in the gaps, but then has written Progressive as a series of going floor by floor, and that is still an ongoing series. The movies are being made for Progressive as well, which haven't really seen it because it's not dubbed and it's not technically legal to own here yet. But when it is, I do want to pick it up because I know the stories. I've read the books. I know what they're covering, and I was captivated by the world of Sword Art Online. That's why I kind of got everything. I mean, my one shelf. I know I've changed my environment, but I have a shelf that has just novels of Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been the expanded universe is just something I've enjoyed.
Yeah, that you've enjoyed and just kind of gone through, and that kind of answers the second part of that question that I wanted to hear was like, what was the thing that the interest that captivated you with it? And
yeah, I think the fact that it was a gaming related thing, that's what drew me in.
Yeah.
The fact that they have made the games, and I will say this much, the games that they have so far, so I will be playing Hollow Realization, which is not the first game they made.
No.
Hollow Fragment was. And even then, I think Infinity Moment is technically the first game, and Hollow Fragment was an expansion on top of that, but in North America, it released as a single thing. It's one of those things where the reason I'm doing it is I wanted to pay tribute to this because as of November 6th, which is technically the Sunday, and I know I'm doing it a day early, but November 6th, 2022 is the official launch of Sword Art Online. When everyone got trapped, I felt
inside the world.
Inside the world,
yeah.
Yes.
In canon, that was when the game released that trapped everybody.
The Sword Art Online Twitter account did post on August 4th, I want to say it was, that the official beta went live.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fully expecting on the Sunday they're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. They have mentioned that they wanted to do some special things on that date. So I wanted to pay tribute to that. That's why I'm adding it to the stream. I picked Hollow Realization because as far as the battle mechanics go, it matches closest to the way that the universe that everyone has seen in the anime works. In addition, it also plays very closely to Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I'm currently playing through, so it won't be a hard
shift for you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. And then, so the concept that we're coming up on that date also kind of factors into the last piece that I wanted to talk about with Sword Art Online, which is what kind of hopes do you have for that franchise as a whole? Like, I know you talked to you talked about the fact that the movies have come out, and that, you know, we haven't quite gotten access to them yet, but when we do, we'll be able to kind of see how those go. And I know that Progressive is an ongoing series, so that will continue. But like, if they were to say announce that something new was coming out for Sword Art on that date as like an anniversary kind of thing, what would you want to see out of that? What would you want from them?
Personally, what I would love to see, and I know it won't happen because you would be seeing too much information about it already. I've got an Oculus. I'm calling it an Oculus. It is not a Meta Quest. I have an Oculus Quest 2 down there. I don't even care if it's a playable game, just a technical. I would love to be able to stand in the world of Sword Art Online and just be able to say, I can look around.
So you want the actual game that they got trapped in?
Yeah.
You want them to release that game?
I would love that.
And then you can get trapped in it. And become a sword master.
I mean, yes. Do I get the Holy Shield?
No.
Oh.
No. That's the bad guy.
Does it have to go to the bad guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's evil. That's what happened.
All right.
And he's basic. You have to be better than that, Jimmy.
That's fair.
Come on.
I mean, yeah, but that would be what I'd
No,
love to
okay,
see.
yeah,
I would love
no,
to
that's
see
fair.
it.
That's fair.
And it doesn't have to be playable. I would love just a technical preview of being able to see the
even if it's
world.
just like that intro Coliseum where they all were, where they got trapped kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, Town of Beginning. I think it's one
yeah,
of those
the Town
things
of
where I
Beginning.
would love to just walk around.
Just walk around it and just kind of
around.
be like, hey, this is a thing.
I mean, and I know this is, you know, a bit of a segue in that sort of a thing, but
oh, you called it out.
I made a trip to Italy with some friends, and I played Assassin's Creed 2, and just wandering around a bunch of the places, I'm like, I totally climbed that building. Like, it's just, that was cool to me, and this isn't a real world, so getting it on a VR headset is the closest I can get to being able to say I'm able to experience that in some form.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's get into our next hot sauce
Yes.
here. I wanna start taking the next dive.
Our next one up is Heartbeat.
Yep.
Hot sauce, which is out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. So still local-ish.
Yep.
We are getting into their scorpion sauce.
Scorpion sauce.
Up into camera.
Scorpion hot sauce. So the last one being 30,000. Here we're looking at 66,000. So we're doubling. We've kind of leveled off in terms of how much we're going above.
Oh,
but
no. I appreciate. Okay, hang on.
going on.
So Anonymous, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are, but thank you for causing an extra dab here.
Someone paged you for another dab.
I'm going to put this on here. Okay, so
that's good.
I'm gonna try and not fail.
No, don't do that.
Josh can just
I can verify.
I am going to actually cover the entire top of this thing.
Oh yeah, he did that stream. He did that. That was real.
Okay. And what I'm going to do is, I owe a $10 donation, so thank you for that donation. I really appreciate it. We're going to do some wonderful things for sick kids as a part of that. I am going to wait until after the stream, and then I'll just make one single donation so that I don't get my credit card.
Assuming you're not dead at that point.
Norma will make it
on your behalf. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
okay.
Right, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready for this. Yeah. Are you ready for that?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. That's a really nice flavor.
Mm-hmm. That is a good flavor. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's hot.
And there's a good sting to that.
Yeah. It's a scorpion.
Scorpion, like they named that right. It's got a little bit of a sting to it rather than like a. Oh yeah, that's real good, and that's good flavor to it though. Like
yes,
when you first get into it, once again the hot sauce, the heat is on the end, but the flavor at the beginning is real nice.
So, red bell peppers,
okay.
Habaneros, beets, onions, garlic, scorpion peppers.
Interesting beets in there.
Yeah,
man, that's definitely adding.
I think it's the bell peppers. I think that's what I first.
The bell peppers, you're getting a little bit of that sweetness, which is definitely where some of that's coming from.
Yeah, that's definitely got some heat to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had quite a bit on there.
You know what? I'm gonna say this much. You're gonna make a $10 donation. I'm gonna make it worth your while.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, hot sauce. Time for a hot question.
All right, time for another question. All right, let's get another question in here. All right, what should we go into next? All right. We're gonna go into this one. This is a very general one. It's a little bit easy since we just got you like a extra hot dab there. I'll kind of lowball you here. We'll get into some Zelda talk.
Zelda.
So you like Zelda.
I do like Zelda.
I mean you like a lot of them. You play a lot of the games. I mean. On your stream, you will be doing a Triforce hunt. Part of the randomizer from Link to the Past, the wide community that has done a great deal of work with that game. Yep. Quote unquote hacking it, but at this point, I mean, the game is so old. Is it really hacking the game? What they're doing
technically it's past copyright, so it's not
true.
Really.
So what they're doing is giving the game a new life because there's actually a very active community still playing this game to this day.
Yes.
Because of what they've been able to do with it. So you'll be doing the Triforce hunt. The hope is that I will also be able to be here with you for that Triforce hunt because I also really enjoy Zelda, and specifically the randomizer. I think the one that got you into the randomizer a little bit.
You're 100%.
I think you can blame me for that one.
Yeah.
So let's ask some Zelda questions.
Sure.
So, what is the first Zelda game?
The original Legend of Zelda on the NES was the very first one I played.
First one you played?
I did not beat that one because I just rented the game because it was just a
Yeah.
You know what? I rented so many games for the NES because I was 6, 7 years old and didn't really know what games were. It had a gold cartridge. That made it obviously the thing I needed to try.
Much better.
The first one I actually played to beat was the original Link's Awakening on the Game Boy.
Oh, okay.
So, my parents did a lot of car traveling for vacations. We did a lot of camping. And, in the car, the Game Boy was sort of my entertainment. And Link's Awakening was definitely like an entire summer, because that was also ahead of the time where you looked up things online when you didn't know them.
You didn't have online to do that with.
That tower, the 7th one, the air tower, the number of times I walked through it not knowing the puzzles, insane.
Yeah.
And now, I just look it up and
you just solve. Yeah, exactly. Everything's on the internet, so.
Yes.
Okay, so first game that you played to completion, Link's Awakening.
Yes.
Very cool. So you've been a Zelda fan for a long time, like
Yes.
since the early days of this franchise. You've been there and you've been joining in.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we know that there's a new one coming out, the new Breath of the Wild, right? I know that they've leaked a bit of information about this one,
Including the fact that it has a different title, but whatever. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not up
I
to
don't
date.
remember the title.
I'm not up to
honest.
date on all
Yes.
of the information about it. I just know that it is coming, and it's in that same vein. And I know you and I have talked a lot about Breath of the Wild, our loves and your hates. What are you looking for from this new game? And if you say non-breakable weapons, I'm going to reach across this table and slap you.
Let me clarify, because I have already covered this, and we're going to talk about this right now. The thing I hate is that weapons break. And I'm not saying I want unbreakable weapons. I'm saying I want the skill to repair weapons. So, Diablo was the first to give you that. And in fact, they, in the original Diablo game, made it so that you lost half the durability when you repaired something.
Mm-hmm.
I would be okay with that, because it's one of those things where I can at least bring a weapon back for, a couple more turns, because I hate getting stuck in a dungeon and having to use bombs, because I don't have any more weapons because I've broken them all.
So disappointing. Okay.
I am disappointing when I play these things.
Yes, very much so. Okay, but outside of that sort of thing, like I'm talking outside of that. What are you looking for from this new game? Like, same kind of idea as what we talked about with Sword Art. Kind of what are you hoping for? What would really get you excited about this game? I'm not talking about like
excited.
New
legend.
Yeah.
I mean. Okay, well, let's talk about what they've done in the past, right?
Yep.
Like, if we look at Link's Awakening, you were going around collecting instruments.
Yep.
If we look at the original, you were collecting triangles. You go into Ocarina of Time, and I'm going to take a hot take here and say, not my favorite game series. That's my opinion.
Yeah. You're collecting gems / jewel thingies.
Yeah. So it's just, they've got a bunch of different things. I enjoyed Breath of the Wild's Divine Beasts.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit, because I intentionally tried not to look it up, it took me a while to realize that the elephant trunk you actually move. And that was cool to me, that you took a dungeon and gave it some animated elements that affect the puzzles in there.
Yep.
I think I'm going to be very basic and say I would love new puzzles. The innovation. Nintendo is known for their innovation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite puzzles on the 3DS with Phantom Hourglass, I think it was the fact that you literally had to use the light to blow out some candles.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the neat things that you have to do.
Fold it to put the map on the one side and the other.
So, I mean, they're constantly pushing the envelope on the innovative way they do things. I would love to see new things that make me say, I never would have thought about that, and now I'm super excited about it. I think that's the best I can give you as far as what I'm looking for. So it's really, I just want another Zelda game. I don't care a lot about what it is. I'm not one of those people who says, well, this is just like the last one. mean, I'm playing Genshin Impact right now, and I know we weren't really going to talk about that, but Genshin Impact has that open world exploration that's like Zelda. There's a reason I have my go live calling it Breath of the Waifus, because it quite literally reminds me of Breath of the Wild. And getting another Breath of the Wild, I'm there.
Yep. So what you're looking for is Nintendo to innovate it more. Like,
Yes.
to continue to push the envelope on what you can do with a game like this and making it more interesting and more intriguing.
Well, especially when you then put the speedrunners in it, right? Like, the Breath of the Wild game, how long does it take? People say, oh, it takes hours to beat. Yeah, speedrunners can beat it in like 15 minutes. And it's just like, when you watch it, you're like, I never thought about doing some of those things.
Because technically there's nothing locking you from going straight to Ganon at the start of the game.
If you can get there.
If you can get there and not die.
Well, and then it's a Dark Souls game, right?
And
like,
then you have to fight Ganon with a stick.
a Dark Souls game. So
You never have to fight with this. Well, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I love seeing the innovative way they have you learn about the puzzles, solve the puzzles, coming up with new puzzles in general. I think the thing that really attracted me to the series in general was it's not just a run and gun. That you have to think about things.
Yep, yeah. It's a puzzle game, adventure game at its core, aside from combat and all the rest of that. Okay. All right.
All right.
Fair enough. All right. Let's.
Anything more on?
I mean, we could talk about more, but I think we should probably get into another one. Let's see if we can
Sure.
get into another one.
I'm perfectly okay with that. Sorry, I just saw something pop up and I was distracted for a second. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I want to take 2 seconds. My dad sent me something, so has my mom, who I know are watching. That is it's gonna get very toasty.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
My mom, I know, is always looking for an escape for me on not having hot sauce. There is no chance of that happening today.
Oh no, because we're halfway through.
Okay, let's talk about the next one. The next one is actually a personal favorite of mine.
Okay.
My brother-in-law introduced me to it, and it's Dawsons. This is their original.
Okay.
This was officially on Hot Ones. If we look at the Skull Gold, it's 82,000. So
82.
it's
So not a huge jump from this one. We're not doubling or anything like we have been in the past. We're starting to get to that plateau where values are going up, but they're not doubling yet.
and I don't completely remember. Oh, wait, there it is, right there. They are in Pooslinch, so they're also.
Oh, okay. So
really
they're
close to
just
us.
just on the street.
So one of my favorite things about them specifically, and let me just get that on camera.
Yeah, close enough.
One of my favorite things is that they actually wax their tops to seal it.
Nice.
So there's no plastic you have to do to actually open it. You are literally just opening a wax,
Yeah,
and then that's it.
which is
So
nice. I mean, it's classic, right? Like that's what we used to do before we just put plastic on everything and decided to harm the environment.
now, I know this guy's got kit. Because I have had this.
Can someone pay for him to do this again? Add more.
I'll say this much: if anyone pays for me adding more, I will 100% cover that one again. Okay, so let's Josh can't get out of
Something dropped.
here. Walk
I don't know, might be.
is okay.
Get a fork. Where's your chopsticks?
They're upstairs. Okay. Make sure.
It's okay, don't worry. I'll entertain stream while you go get a chopstick.
I know. I can make sure it happens.
Oh, Jimmy. Alright, I'm gonna get comfortable because this could take a while.
I promise. Hang on.
Oh, how's everybody doing tonight? How many people we got in here? A few, yeah. Got some people going on.
I mean, let's be honest. I don't have a large audience most of the time, but those who do watch seem to watch fairly regularly.
Yeah.
I'm just going to all of this
You mean the W?
Alright, so I'll
pass that over here.
And we will just make sure that people are. Okay, you've got like a few seconds to get it in if you want me to completely cover that guy. I'm not seeing it. Okay. We're going as is. So, Dawsons Original. They also do a lot of natural ingredients in this one, which is kind of nice. So.
Olive oil, garlic, sea salt, vinegar, sugars, and habaneros.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, that's much more of a classic hot sauce. I mean, I can see why they call it original. Like, it's a hot sauce, pure and simple. There's not a whole lot. Like, it's natural flavorings, but like, it basically just, it starts hot, it ends hot. It's a hot sauce. Like, there's not, there's no peaches involved here.
It's hot sauce.
It's just hot sauce.
And
pure and simple.
You know, the low end here. I'm specifically pointing at
the Franks. Yeah.
It's an actual hot sauce.
Yeah, despite having vinegar in it, it doesn't taste like vinegar.
I'm gonna take 2 seconds here. I just want to. We have an ad starting. I have always done this as a charity channel. I have tried to keep the ads to an absolute minimum. The ads that do happen, all of the proceeds, 100% of the revenue of this channel goes right back into Extra Life supporting segments. So please bear with the ad. I try not to have too many of them happen, but they do go towards. So we've got about 10 seconds before that starts, and then it'll be about a 30-second ad break. We will not do anything question-wise until we come back. So
we won't do anything questionable.
And for anyone who is still here while the ad's going on, I think this is a good time to talk about Extra Life Game Day. Yeah. So, we are still, at this point, I believe, about, see if I add in, got $10 in, so we were $100 shy. So we're probably about $90 shy at this point of Elden Ring being the start of Extra Life Game Day. So as much as I have announced that, it may get swapped out for Breath of the Wild. And so what I'm asking you is, I am matching all donations. We are very close to getting towards Elden Ring being the thing that I will start with for 5 hours. So I would appreciate anything that you can do to help make that happen. I do not own that game, and yes, I will go and pay out of pocket to get that game so that I can suffer through it for 5 hours. And then you guys can suffer through watching me die a lot. Or enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Because I'm going to enjoy that. I'm enjoying suffering right now, and I'm going to enjoy that suffering later.
I know you were looking so much forward.
Which is why I say we're going to meet that. I have faith. We're going to meet that.
Yeah, so now that we're back from the ads, we are about $100 away from Elden Ring being the opening 5 hours. If you are inclined and want to see me die a lot in that game and have a lot of fun laughing at me for that, please consider making donations towards those extra dabs, as I am matching those donations. I am suffering right now so that I will suffer later. You win 100%.
Oh, absolutely. We did.
Alright, since we're back from the ad, and we just did Dawson's Original, which
we just did some
hot sauce.
Yep.
What do we got next?
Let's get some questions going,
More
right?
Questions. I'm ready.
Let's do some questions. So,
I am.
Are you? You are not prepared. All right, so you did mention it earlier.
Yeah.
So we might as well dive right into it. Get the thoughts, get the origin, get the hot story of the origins of how you got into Genshin Impact.
Oh, okay. How did I get into Genshin Impact?
What's the story here? Because there's got to be some kind of story as to why you got into this game.
So I'm gonna say this much: if you remember my "How did I get into Sword Art Online?" I got a recommendation on Netflix. Like, it's just, I don't know if I have a good origin story for this one either. So I created my account long before I actually really started playing.
Yes.
I feel like what happened is they promoted the crap out of the game when it first came out in 2020.
Okay.
September of 2020. And I can't get to the actual date. I don't remember. It's near the end, around the 20th. So that would have been during the pandemic. And I remember creating an account and starting to play, and it's Breath of the Wild. Like, let's be honest. Like, the first bits are your character's exploring the world. You're picking up ingredients that you can use in cooking. Learn how to get a wing glider. You are using a sword by default with the main character. Like, it's very much Breath of the Wild. I don't remember what made me stop. I think half of it was it came out mobile first, and if you know me, I don't ever have an up-to-date phone, so I feel like I tried it and it just was very laggy on my phone, and I just stopped.
Okay.
And then the thing that I think I found intriguing, like a year later, because it started up in December 2021, was the fact that they now had a PS4, PS5 version. They had a desktop PC version. They claimed a Nintendo Switch version was coming. We're still waiting on that Hoyoverse. And it was 100% synced with systems. So I could literally load up the desktop right now, play the game, go to some random location where I'm playing.
Yeah, wherever.
Stop, load up my mobile phone, and I can pick up right where I left off. So the idea that I can play the game on my desktop where I'm most comfortable, but then, if I have to go somewhere, and what I found it really useful for was Fan Expo. I was on the train there and back every single day. I spent an hour and a half playing Genshin Impact on my phone. So it was great to be able to take the same thing I'm playing and just go from system to system without having to transfer any data. You have a one-time link to your account on both things, and that's it. Unlike you and I had played Diablo 3.
Yeah.
And the PC version and the Switch version are 100% independent of each other, and that made me a little sad because, if I want to play on the Switch locally with you at the office and then go home and we play both at our own houses, that's not a thing we can do easily.
We don't have that option. Yeah.
So how I got into it, I was looking for something Breath of the Wild-ish. I think I had been playing Breath of the Wild for a bit on stream.
Okay.
And I don't know what made me get back into Genshin Impact. I think they had some sort of a free character offer stuff. And the current character banner got me Arataki Ito. I don't think I have him around here anywhere, but a tank. Not a paladin, but a defense is his main stat.
A paladin.
And he's kind of more a barbarian. So I enjoyed his defense gets his defense increases his attack, and just gets more and more defense, which makes him more and more attacky. It's just I enjoyed playing a character who just ran in at things. If you watch any of the character demos, they have stories behind every character. The guy's a bit of a bimbo as far as has a good heart, but he's completely stupid, and some of his voice lines are absolutely amazing because of that. So that's how I got into it. The why I'm still playing it, God only knows. It's a gacha game. I think they've got me hooked on the I really just want to get Jean and then I'll stop playing the game. But hey.
I see. So at this point you're in the I need to get this one thing.
Yeah. I think that's exactly where I'm at right now. Is I need to get this one thing, and then I would probably be. I should also say there is one other thing that the game has going for it, and this came out very shortly after the game launched in 20. They have a thing they call the Tibet Preview. That is the world. So in 2020, they outlined the entire game at a very high level. They've said, these are the various chapters that are going to happen. This chapter happens, this is the end of the game. So this isn't just a gacha game that is going to continue forever. They have outlined, this is our story. When we get here, this is the end of the game. And I think I'm invested in the fact that this is an interesting story. I'm enjoying the story, and it's not going to be we're going to constantly keep adding new things just to push the gacha. They have outlined this is the end of the game. They have other games that they have on their roster, and they've got a new one coming out soon. Like, I feel as though they are intending that this game will end at some point, someday.
Okay.
And
do you think they will continue it?
I don't know. Am I okay with it ending? Absolutely. Would I be sad that it's gone? I don't know if I would. I mean, I have not really put a lot of... I put money into these games in small amounts because I feel developers should be paid for entertainment. So I don't, as the industry term is, I'm not a whale who just throws hundreds and hundreds of dollars at this. I will buy some of their special packs every once in a while, generally around holidays, anniversaries, because I'm playing this game for free. They are adding new content regularly. I feel developers need to be compensated for the fact that I am enjoying their game, and so I spend a little bit of money here and there.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I think that was a pretty verbose way of
getting to the answer.
Kind of saying what you're in for, and
Oh hell, Silent King, $50, eh? All right, the Silent King. I appreciate the donation. Let me just do a quick count. We have not enough hot sauces left, so
we got 4 left.
We have 4 left. I will dab the last ones. So every one of them now is going to be pain and suffering for the Silent King. I think we got that answer. Did you have anything else you wanted to chat about that, or do you want to move on to the next? Oh.
You have a tendency to cover all of my questions in one answer.
Yeah.
Because I asked you how you started, and the other question was why you kind of kept playing, like what was the interest area there, and you kind of went through that as well. So you kind of covered that. So I think we're ready to just dive right into the next one.
I'm sorry that I have covered everything without giving you a chance to.
No, it's good because I don't have to talk near as much. You just do the talking for me. I just ask one piece.
Okay, so we're now getting into, we're not quite at the end game, but we're getting near the end game. All right, so our next one up is Marie Sharp's. This is a Scorpion and Habanero.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, this one, and the reason I brought this one in specifically is it's from Belize.
Belize,
and,
ooh, fancy.
My wife and I did do a trip down there that I enjoyed that place.
Cool.
All right.
So the last one that we were at, we were sitting at 82,000 Scoville. We have finally hit 6 digits. So we are now at 100,000 Scoville.
Oh God.
So this is where we're starting to hit big numbers now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can verify that that it's good.
I'll give that over to you.
So from now on,
Risen, thank you for coming in here.
Oh, we got
a question for me. You know what? We'll take that question right now. What do you got? Josh gets some on there. And you know what? While you're asking that question,
we're going to eat some hot sauce.
Cheers to 100K.
Mmm.
Oh. Thank you for that question.
It's a good question. Good question.
I hate myself right now.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's a spicy meatball right there.
Okay.
Oh,
So
that's a good one.
Risen's question, just for
Hey, I'm the person asking the questions here. You get to answer. Go focus over there on your hot sauce. All right. So we got the question. Jimmy's dying a little bit. So the question that has been asked is there another Final Fantasy game that you think should get the remake treatment? And we're talking, I believe the remake, you're talking about the remake that was done for 7, the full like upgrade and polish and all that sort of stuff, because there have been some of the smaller games that have just been small fidelity upgrades. We're talking the true treatment of what's the spirit of this game and how can we do it again.
That's hurting a little.
Oh yeah, that one's getting you right there.
So just to clarify, I joined Risen's stream earlier this afternoon, and we were chatting about FF7 remake and the greatness that it was. Another Final Fantasy that deserves the 7 remake treatment. Oh god. I may be pulling up the almond milk soon. Personally, 4. That would be my answer. 4/2, I guess.
4/2. So 4 in Japan, 2 in America.
Yeah. So the one with Cecil Harvey.
Yeah.
So Dark Knight into Paladin. They did do a DS remake where they made them 3D
and that's why I was clarifying the style of remake, because they have remade some of those older games, but we're talking really giving it the full treatment.
I loved Cecil Harvey the Dark Knight. I loved Kane the Dragoon.
Ooh, that lingers.
Yeah, that one is strong.
Whew.
I am not looking forward to the rest. But so Kane and Cecil were fantastic characters.
Mm-hmm.
Then Cecil's transformation into the Paladin. I know some people weren't as keen on him as a Paladin. I very much appreciated him as a Paladin.
We've already talked about how they're objectively the worst when they're Paladins. So
your opinion, but yes. So Risen, to answer your question, I would love to see 4/2 get a remake, because I really want the glory that is Cecil Harvey in the Dark Knight armor from the beginning, and Kane and his Dragoon, and just being able to see the Red Barons, which is the airship they have.
Yep.
Getting to see that in full 3. I'm already getting excited just from talking about how great that would be to see. So
yeah.
And then let's not forget, you get the Spoony Bard at the same time.
Spoony Bard.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know that I have a friend who's a big Final Fantasy fan to a certain extent. Well, not you, someone else. And I know he's not watching this stream, but even if he's not watching the stream, he'd still punch me if he found out that I didn't say it. So I'm just going to answer for myself as well, is that I think 6 should also get that treatment. Getting Locke's story, given that a proper redo and a proper chance to shine when a lot of people overlook it because it's just so close to 7, which everybody loved, It needed that, so I think that one deserves a little attention.
I don't disagree with you, and Risen, I 100% back your choice as well. He's calling 8.
8, okay.
I think 8 needs a battle system overhaul. That would be my statement. Is that 8 needs a battle system overhaul. The draw system, the junction system. We all know they were not great, and a lot of people say they're terrible, and they are because they prevented you from using the magic. Having 8 get an overhaul, I think you overhaul the battle system. I think people would appreciate the story more.
But I think the good part about doing the 7 treatment is that you do have that opportunity, because you look at the remake, it is not the original's battle system.
Not even close.
That's not, because that's not the center point of the game. The game is to tell the story, and the battle system is what you use to facilitate those combat elements and those level up elements and all that different stuff. So it's so they implemented it in a very interesting way. So doing that with 8 too could to your point, definitely bring that back.
And actually, on that note, I loved the way they remixed the battle theme in 7. Like the remake for 7.
Mhm.
The remixed battle theme was great. I would love to see Laguna's battle theme get a remake. Or a remix that way. And I really enjoyed that soundtrack, so seeing what they would do with it now, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, give that some update. All right.
Thank you for that question.
Thank you
Risen.
very much for that question.
That was exactly what I wanted to answer. Or
Yeah.
at least that was a perfect question.
That was perfect, and it took us right into Jimmy's next punishment, which is our next hot sauce. So we're once again
I'm still suffering from the current one.
Yeah, and you're going right into the next one.
Yeah,
that's how this works. We have, once again, we're not taking one of those big double jumps, that sort of thing. This going from our first 100K, we're going to 118 on the Scoville right now. Pepper North.
So Pepper North's Red Serrano and Reaper. Sam, what'd you say? I'm here. Watch Jimmy 7. You know what?
That is why we are all here. Thank you very much, Risen. We are here to watch Jimmy suffer, and we're paying to watch Jimmy suffer. Okay. Because, let's be honest, that is why this stream exists, is Jimmy suffer, help the kids. The two go together.
You got a new tagline for them.
Jimmy suffer, help the kids.
Okay, so anyone who knows Pepper North from the actual Hot Ones series, you'll recognize this one as Stargazer on there. They have done a rebrand of a lot of their naming conventions for things. They're not calling it Stargazer anymore. They're calling it Red Serrano and Reaper, which is the peppers that are in it. So I'm just going to throw this up there. This is the new look of it. So if you are looking to find this, anyone who is in Ontario, it is, I should also point, where are you out of? I want to say it's nearby, Sudbury area, maybe?
Yeah, I think they were just, they're Pepper North, so they're probably just north of us.
They're in Oshawa.
Oshawa, yeah, okay.
So, they're at the locals there, so if you want their sauces, they're there. All right, we're gonna suffer through this. I have had this before.
Come on, Jimmy.
Oh, you know what?
Stop stalling. Let's get into this.
I will not back down.
Oh, so... I know you're not backing down. I'm not pretending that you're trying to get out of it. I just don't want you to keep stalling. You gotta take the hit while the hit is real.
So, the thing I just wanted to point out with this one in particular is I have had this one. I like cooking with it. It does have a very powerful kick on it. So, I am not looking forward to what I just did on that chicken nugget, but.
Clean heat.
So this is going to be our first dive into Carolina Reapers.
Yep.
In some form.
Yep.
This is another one that has a...
First time we hit Reaper territory.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. You can feel that one pretty much right away.
I didn't. My mouth is already burning. I'm feeling it now.
Oh yeah.
It's there.
Oh yeah. That's real there.
I'm gonna refill water just because I need water. Do you want more?
Yeah, I need some water as well. Yeah, you pour. I'll pour
I just got a pitcher down here so that
was a little bit easier.
Ready to go?
Here, I'll just I'll take that from you.
I appreciate that. That one.
Woo! Yeah, that one's still that's still staying there wherever it touched.
So
it's
here's my statement. I did not suffer as much from that initially as I did from the other one.
I could see that.
But that one's creeping up on me now.
I think the thing is that the scorpion it stings a little bit, right? And it hits you, it punches you more right at the gate.
That's punching me more now. Ooh.
But the Reaper's like that long lasting. Like it's not going away. Like it's still there. Every point that it touched in my mouth is still lingering that heat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still hanging out there. Ooh. So you know, even though Jimmy suffers with these extra dabs and everything.
Jimmy's fingers.
Huh?
Oh God, yeah. Is that what you're looking for? All right.
So, like, as much as Jimmy's being paid to suffer and he's hitting those extra dabs, I'm not, so that I can still ask questions. So I have to suffer by ingesting the hot sauce, but I'm not doing it as bad as him. So I still get to talk.
Okay.
You okay there?
Yeah.
You gonna hang in for me?
You know what? I'm here to the end.
You're
We're
here?
doing this.
All right, we're doing this. All right. So once again, because you just got hit pretty hard,
Yeah.
I'll give you one more low ball before we get into the
Super spicy.
before we hit the last two. So
Yeah.
we said at the beginning of the stream, we're there now. We have finished 8 sauces. We are now to the point at which the spike happens. The worst spike in the sauces. So let's lowball you a little bit here. Something that you know inside and out. Even if your mouth is burning, you'll still be able to answer questions, no problem.
Okay.
We're talking Power Rangers.
Let's do it. Power
All right.
Rangers.
So Power Rangers. We're going to talk Power Rangers. I got a fun question for you that I want to hear from you.
I apologize, stream. You're going to hear a nose blow, but I need it. Oh, God.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So
Power Rangers.
Power
Yes.
Rangers. Here's the question that I want answered from Jimmy, from the mouth of Jimmy to the world.
Okay.
If you had to be one of the colors in all of the spectrum from all of the series, what's your color? What's your ideal?
Green Ranger.
All right.
100%.
All right, so you're going green. You're sticking with the green.
I am.
All right, fair enough. Now, are you going classic Green Ranger? You're talking Mighty Morphin. That's the series that you would want to be in. Or would you want to be a Green Ranger in a different series?
Okay, I'm going to ask a different question on that. It has to be Ranger first season, or
Nope.
you know,
I'm saying what's your color choice?
okay.
And then what series ideally would you want to be in?
As let's point one thing out. The original Green Ranger comes with the Dragon Shield.
Yeah.
And as much as I would say I don't know that Mighty Morphin is the season I would want to be in, I would definitely want that Green Ranger. If I had to pick a season, I would want to be in with that Green Ranger, because let's be honest, how many times has Jason David Frank come back?
All of the times.
Exactly. So, I think personally, I'd go in space.
In space?
In space with the Green Ranger.
In space with the classic Green Ranger is
Yes.
what you want to see. Okay. All right. That's reasonable, right? Like I wanted to hear kind of where you fell with that.
I mean, I love the Green Ranger. Let's be honest. If you want to talk about Zord combinations, and I have a question, I'm just going to put it to the universe right now, and that is, for the budget that TV show's given versus the budget a movie's given, why is it that the Zords look way more awesome in the TV shows than they do in the movies? And you could say, oh, well, they didn't know what they were doing in the first movie, and it says that's fair. But I'm also talking the 2017 movie. That was a garbage Megazord, and I have no problems calling
It's
that
a pretty
out
bad
right now.
Megazord.
So just like you had plenty of years to learn that Megazord's an important piece to get right too. So,
Fair enough.
that would be my question to the world. But the Dragon Zord, and more specifically, the Dragon Zord in fighting mode.
In fight mode, yeah.
Where you bring in the Triceratops, the Saber-Tooth Tiger, and the Mastodon. My favorite combination.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Now I have an open-ended question for you
Okay.
that I want to hear from you.
Okay.
And this one's a little bit more, a little bit tougher. You've had a little bit of time to process the hot sauce.
I'm good now. I'm good
I need to hear this from you. So
Okay.
I'm an executive. I got all the money in the world,
Okay.
but I own a game studio.
Uh-huh.
Pitch me your Power Rangers game idea.
What I want to do.
What would you want to do as a video game using Power Rangers? Like we're just saying the concept of Power Rangers.
The TV show, all the money went to the Zords, and the movies, so much was to pay. The short chain and screen. Oh, yeah. It's true. Good point. Yes. Yes, they shortchanged the screen. So here's gonna be my pitch, and this is gonna be weird at first, but my pitch would be based RPG.
Turn-based RPG,
So tactical
okay.
RPG is where I think I would go with that.
Okay, but that's just a game system. Pitch me this idea. Give me more.
So-
Give me more.
So what you're gonna do is, you've seen Battle for the Grid, correct? That is a Street Fighter fighting
Yep.
style game
Yep,
of
yep.
Power Rangers where they are constantly releasing new Power Rangers and they are adding them in various iterations, various skins, depending on what you're interested in. I would be going, and I know I'm going to be borrowing from other things, but Fire Emblem Heroes, which is a mobile game, has you bringing in various Fire Emblem characters from other games in a turn-based RPG. I would pitch something very similar to that, only it's Power Rangers. So you are going to be able to bring in Rangers from various seasons. We're going to be able to build your perfect Ranger team, whatever that happens to be. It could very well easily be the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, the Black Dino Thunder Ranger, and Lord Drakon. Let's just throw him in there because why not?
Because why not? Of course.
Because for whatever reason you love Tommy Oliver. Oh, wait, I completely ignored Red Zio. Everyone does. So that would be my pitch is a turn-based strategy or turn-based RPG in which you can mix and match Power Rangers from multiple seasons to build your ultimate team, and that would be storyline wise, I mean, hell, it's the most formulaic type of series you can come up with. I would actually take a page out of what Star Trek Online has done, where a lot of their content is episodes and season based, and that's how we release the content. It's episodes and seasons, and the individual missions you're going on are essentially a new episode. So,
Fair enough.
Yeah, that would be my best pitch.
Okay.
Off the top of my head,
Off the
while
top of
my
your head.
mouth is completely on fire.
Cool. Not sure I'm investing, but I can understand that. All right.
Okay.
I think it's time for us to take the dive into the first of the worst.
All right.
So,
tell them to jump.
So, we have been taking a steady progression so far. We've talked about this up until the 8. Last one we hit was 118,000 Scoville, right?
Yeah.
So, the most jump we've made up until this point was a 4 times jump, which was right here at the beginning or so.
It was 8 to 30.
8 to 30, or so. Those were our big jumps, getting 2 to 8 and 8 to 30. We have gone from 118,000 Scoville to 650,000 Scoville. So that is almost a 6 times jump. It's around the range of the largest jump we've done at the beginning, only now it's happening in the hundreds of thousands rather than in the thousands.
We're basically playing, Dragon Ball Z now.
Yeah, exactly. Our power levels are starting to become very meaningless. Krillin down here ain't really helping anymore. He's kind of not really relevant.
So, what we're doing next is Dave's Gourmet, and this is his ghost pepper sauce. I like the quote on it. It's very relevant for the time of season we're in now. It's so hot, it's
hot it's
this
spooky.
for Halloween. So I'm just going to throw this up on camera just so you get an idea.
Throw
of
that
what we're
right up
looking
there.
at.
So we're looking at ghost pepper.
Oh,
Oh, it's going to be tasty and hot.
it's tough. Oh no, I'm going to have to clean up that garbage can. Hit the edge. Alright.
All right, let's see this.
This is a pouring sauce.
Look at that. Oh, that's a pouring sauce, right? That's a dipping sauce right there. You could just dip the nuggets right in that.
I'm going to let you be very careful with that one as far as what you're doing, because I have loaded that. I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna tell you. Or I am gonna tell you. I'm a little scared.
You're not gonna lie. You're gonna tell me.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I can't even.
You
think
can't
straight.
speak because you're so far gone at this
Okay.
point.
Ready?
All right, let's do this.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, there's the spooky. There's this. Oh yeah, there's the spooky. Jimmy's dying. Oh. Oh that. Oh, that gets in there. It gets right up in there.
Ghost peppers.
Oh man, no! When you suck in air, it only makes it worse because it spreads it around. Oh, it spreads it around.
You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do. Oh, I don't know that I would. I'm.
Yeah, drop me some of that too. Oh, yeah, that ghost pepper. Like, literally everything around the mouth is just is just gone.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Oh.
And it's only getting worse.
It really is.
Like, it doesn't stop. Oh god. Oh.
Oh. So I'd like to point out, this is almond milk. I'm not tasting it.
Don't make me laugh.
Oh. I gotta be careful.
That wasn't even our hottest one yet. I'm pulling out the salt. I can't.
Oh, oh man, that is painful.
Oh man, that is painful.
Yeah, no, thank you, Risen. I have watched enough Hot Ones to know very well not to do that.
Oh good God. Oh, the pain. The pain.
I also have a very... Oh my god, just talking is hard. I have a big stack of napkins behind me. In order to try and prevent the contamination.
Oh my goodness. I know, because every time you talk, you have to breathe in and breathe out, and it just spreads the ghost pepper around.
Are you able to ask a question?
No, not yet. Give me one more salt here, and I'll get you a question.
Alright, it's a good time. I'm going to do some talking, even though I can't really talk. So, it's going to sound like my tongue is numb. That's because it is. Alright, I'm going to try and talk though. As a reminder, we are working towards me playing Elden Ring on Extra Life Game Day. We are still $40 away at this point from that being a reality. So if you are interested in seeing me suffer through that on game day, and you were inspired by what we're doing here tonight to help sick kids in Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, anything that you are willing to donate, I am willing to match.
Oh man.
Our overall goal is to get to $5,000, and my plan at $5,000 is that I don't have any tattoos. I will get an Extra Life logo tattoo at $5,000. So that's my end game for this year. So I appreciate everyone who's stuck by, and
Oh, we're getting him that tattoo before the end
I
of
might
this.
need to watch that during my breaks on game day. Oh, please do listen. So I'm starting with Elden Ring. So I'll be going from 10 p.m. on the Friday until about 3 a.m. on the Saturday. So yes, you want to jump in while I'm suffering through that, and Josh will be not live but on Discord for commentary. I would love to have you there so that you can watch me die multiple times over and over again.
Oh man, that is painful.
Okay,
Your eyes are just watering. Like,
I know.
I can see it from here. His eyes are just glazed over with water. And his face is beet red.
Oh yeah, it's
Like, if the cartoon steam could come out his ears, it would be. Well,
I find holding it actually does help. Just holding it in your mouth for a bit. Okay. I guess that's also a good thing worth noting. Thank you for bringing that up, Raisin. I will be doing Extra Life Game Day as a 24-hour stream starting on Friday, November 4th at 10 p.m. I will be going until 10 p.m. on the Saturday. Josh will be joining me for commentary at the beginning. He will... I think you're being here? You're going to be here?
I'm planning on being here, yeah.
Planning to be here on game day for the next time I'm doing Hot Sauce, because I am doing Hot Sauce again, when we do the Link to the Past Randomizer Triforce Hunt.
And that one's going to be extra fun because if I am here, which I'm hoping to be here, I get to choose the hot sauces with Jimmy.
We agreed, and you know what? I'm happy to share this now. We agreed that we are actually going to play a little D&D with it. Josh is going to set the percentiles for the hot sauces, and then we're going to leave it up to chance. That's I have the Extra Life dice, I have the dice tray, I have an overhead camera, so we will roll on stream. We'll see that we are not cheating on that, and we will leave it up to dice as well as Josh's strategy in percentiles.
So yes, we will be rolling. We will be leaving a certain amount of it to random chance. But in the end, the decision will still be made, and the hot sauce will still be ingested by Jimmy.
Yes. And just to clarify the what's happening for that, so the great idea. Thank you, Rizzo. I appreciate that. I did it last year in a not so good way. I definitely need help on that one. So I think it would have gone better if I had you there for that, but if you weren't there. So the intention is that the Legend of Zelda Randomizer, it's not the standard game. All the chests are randomized, so your playthrough is trying to collect the items you need to beat the game. In Triforce Hunt, they actually replace some of the useless items, like a single arrow, with Triforce pieces, and your objective is to find all the Triforce pieces. To make that a double-edged sword, every time I find a Triforce piece, I will be eating one of those hot chicken nuggets again. And there are sections where you will find 5 or plus chests at once, where it might be 5 all at once, which that's suffering on a different level, but we're going to do it. Okay.
So what we will be doing for that one is there will be he'll be doing a 20-piece hunt. So there'll be 30 pieces in the pool that he could potentially find, and 20 of them is what he'll need to beat the game. We will have 20 chicken nuggets, and we will be alternating eating for the most part. But once again, we'll be leaving that up. Like, we'll be rolling each one and seeing what happens.
Okay. I've got things calmed down a fair bit. I don't know how you're doing.
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit better.
Want to ask a question now? Because we're into spicy questions now, right?
Oh, we finished the spicy question.
Did we?
I'm sorry, I ran out of questions in general. Like, I didn't know how much to prepare, so I only prepared so much. And with your long answers, you answered half of my questions in one go. So
I'm sorry. Okay.
So
I mean, maybe. It's probably not a bad idea that we have something on standby.
Just a bucket of ice that we can shove our head into to feel better at the end of it, because, yeah.
I actually played Genshin Impact at the end of it, so, you know.
That's a bucket of ice right
there.
there.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Well, so the only thing that I had left on my list that we hadn't really talked about, that we had suggested to talk to, is a little bird told me that that you're getting back into Warhammer.
That would be a true statement. So, let me see what I can pull out over here quickly without breaking things. I'll say this much. I have a few friends who play. I found this guy here, which is a very nice starting army for the Sisters of Battle. I enjoyed, not necessarily the Necrons, but I enjoyed building and painting on Tabletop Appreciation Weekend.
Yeah, when we did Tabletop Appreciation Weekend, that was a good one.
And, you know, I chatted with my wife about it, because it's obviously not a cheap hobby to get involved in.
No, it is not.
But, you know, you and I had talked about the idea of possibly playing together, and I thought, you know, it might be fun to do some of that stuff, set up some tables here. We have the space for it here to set up some tables, and, you know, we can play some games. And, you know, maybe we stream it, maybe we don't. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where it could be... I enjoyed the putting some music on, sitting down at my workbench and painting models. It was a different experience from video games at night to unwind. I felt more relaxed in some cases, depending on the game I'm playing. So yeah, I talked with her about it, and you know, it's one of those things where we could argue, you know, some of the stuff is a Christmas gift. So I picked up the army now because it's discontinued.
That specific box, yes. Not the army.
Yes, that specific box is discontinued because Games Workshop realized they're losing money on it. So anyone who has inventory of it, that's all that's around. So I wanted to try and get one before it's out of stock because it has a lot of the things like in it. So yeah, I think I'm going to get back into it a little bit. I'm not going to be going full in, you know, buying tons of models. I'm going to have a fairly conservative army. It will take me a long time to paint it because I'm not going to be spending, you know, every waking minute that I'm not working on the army. But
take your time. You piece it together. You do it bit by bit, and you get there.
And you and I've talked. You know, we're relaxed about it. That, you know, if we start a battle and, you know, one of my tanks is kind of maybe a toonie, that's what it is for that week. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very big misconception that people need to get over in the hobby, is that everything needs to be fully painted and prepared before you can play. It is not the case. If you want to be tournament legal, it is, but that does not mean you cannot play the game prior to that. I have not painted most of my models, and I have played in not tournaments, but like a friendly group tournament from where I knew people. I have played multiple games with a wide variety of people, none of which cared that my models weren't painted.
I think that's the important piece, right? Is that the people who do care are probably the people you don't want to play with.
They're the people you don't really want to play with. Now, there are tournament regulations for a reason in the big tournaments, and that is completely valid.
Yes.
But for friendly games with friendly people, you don't need to have a fully painted army. You don't even have to have fully put together models. I've brought models that are half put together that aren't even the model it's supposed to be. I proxied a model from something else because I didn't have the model, and I didn't want to go out and spend another $100 on a new model that I wasn't sure I wanted to keep in my list. And people are usually pretty okay with that as long as you warn them about it and everybody's happy. So, and the players are friendly. So, you know, don't feel like if you want to get into the hobby, you have to have everything painted and refined and ready to go before you can even sit down and play a game. Just not the case. And and it can be a great game without needing to do all of that.
Yeah.
And it's a great hobby. Take your time. Paint on your time, bit by bit, and get it to the level you want it to be at. Don't rush through something just so that you can feel like you got it onto the table with the paints on it. But don't do that. It's just not needed.
I'm going to go back to what I had said on Appreciation Week. If you are interested or unsure, get one of their starter paint sets. It's not just Necrons. They have one for
Space
at least
Marines.
3 or 4 different armies.
Pretty sure they have Space Marines and Necrons. I haven't seen any other ones, but I'm sure there's at least one other one out there.
There is at least one other one. I want to say it was... possibly an Eldar one.
I haven't seen that one,
But anyway, there's at least 2 of them for sure. And I would say, it's going to be $45, which if that turns you off immediately, the whole hobby's going to turn you off because you're going to be spending a lot more than just that. Models and paints and brushes and what you need. But, if you're intrigued by that, get that set. It gives you everything you need to put together a few models and everything. The Necrons I did just with that starter brush. They're not perfect,
no,
but they're good enough for... can you reach one of them? Yeah.
That guy right there is what Jimmy did on his game day. Okay.
So it's one of those things where, I started on game day, I continued finishing them, and I didn't enjoy painting Necrons per se, just because they have a lot of nooks and crannies in them that were slightly annoying. But I found it relaxing to build and paint some models, and I've spent some money on it, on what I've got there, but that's going to take me a while to assemble and paint, and I think that's what I'm looking forward to. Is I've probably got 3 to 4 months minimum work ahead of me on starting to put those together and paint them, and I think that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
All right, I think we got. I'm good.
We can't delay this any longer. We got to do this.
We are at.
Oh my goodness!
The coup de grace. I'm going to call it the coup de grace.
The coup de grace. So we talked about. So the last one was like that biggest leap of deadly. But this one is no slouch when it comes to that big jump of deadly. So our last one was a 650,000 Scoville. This last one, Aubrey D, Reaper 51, we are looking at 1.5 million Scoville. Now, multiplier-wise, only, 2.5x kind of thing. But
Risen, I appreciate you.
Yeah, Risen, you're a trooper for sticking it out with us. Yes. This is going to be painful. This is going to be very painful. But this is what we do.
So, the thing I need to start with is I have had this because I figured before I said I was going to do this, I needed to see if I thought I could survive this. So the Red Sereno and Reaper, I will do a few shakes of that into eggs. This I did 10 dots. I would equate them to be about the same. And that was having cooked, so some of it's going to burn off. This is directly on. We're not burning it off.
Oh, we're not burning. This is straight hot sauce we're doing here.
And I stupidly only set this at $50. I should have put this at much higher. Fun Man Andy, this one's for you, buddy. We're doing the last dab. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this guy. So, we have...
the pain. The pain.
A fair bit on there.
Oh, yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does.
And just for you,
he's
the last dab.
He's going to put a little bit more.
The last dab.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
There you go.
He did it.
Reaper 51. We are going to suffer. I will.
I'm deciding how much of a chicken I want to be on this. So I stop myself short on that.
You are welcome to do as little as you want. You did not have to be here. You graciously signed up on your own, or you graciously volunteered to help me with this.
Signed up on my own, I think is valid.
I am the one who came up with this terrible idea.
Jimmy, all right, I'm doing a little bit. I'm just gonna do a little bit. How much will you donate to your own if I double what I have?
1 second. So.
And I'm not talking about your donation matching. I'm talking about your own donation.
I know. No, but here's what I'm willing to do. We are at 38.62.
Yeah.
We need to get to 4K for Elden Ring to be.
Yeah.
I will get us to Elden Ring.
Okay.
If you do this. So, yes, I have to match some of that there, but that's putting me in at about $40 of my own, I think.
Yeah.
On top of matching.
On top of matching.
So, yeah, okay. So
if
you're good with that, that's what we will do.
So you will top it up to Elden Ring.
I will top
beyond
it up to
your
Elden
matching if I double what I've put on here. And I have put on a very little amount. So this is still chickening out comparison to what Jimmy's done, but I'm going to double it because Jimmy is paying for it. So
so I appreciate that you're willing to do that.
Yep.
We will top it up to Elden Ring.
Topping it up to Elden Ring.
Doing Elden Ring
it's
on
confirmed.
game day.
It's confirmed.
Sorry.
Hold
on. We are doing Elden Ring if we survive this.
Yes. If both of us are alive by the end of this night, Jimmy will be playing Elden Ring on game day, and I will be there with him. Right. I mean, I'll be with him in spirit one way or another. The question is, are we going to be here on this plane of existence? Because, oh my goodness, this is going to be hot.
So I'm going to just level with you.
Yep.
Last time I did this one with toothpick, it numbed my tongue.
Yep.
Where that was.
Yep.
For about 5 minutes or so. And that was just, a bit on a toothpick. So I'm just preparing you for what we're going to get into.
Oh yeah, we are about to die. All right. Absolutely die. Cheers.
To the last dab.
To the last. Oh. Yeah, I hit right away.
I did the stupid thing. I flipped it over.
Oh, you flipped it over. Oh, you're a madman. You're a madman. See, like right at the start, like it had that spike, and then it's like, oh, this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad.
It's coming back.
It's coming back. It's coming back. It hadn't stopped, and it's coming in more force.
Risen, thanks for being here. I appreciate that you decided to hang out with us for this whole thing.
I can feel my body temperature raising with that one. Like, oh.
I'm gonna level with you. Personally, I didn't find that one as hot as the one we did before.
I think the ghost pepper, the way that it lingers and the way that it hits your mouth is so much worse. Like, this one is spicier in that, like, my whole body is feeling it. Like, I actually feel like my head is warm. Like, the heat is throughout my entire existence right now. But the ghost pepper was like, I can't talk because my mouth, every bit of breath coming into my mouth was murdering me. It was constant, like, little daggers going into my mouth whenever I took in air. This one is still hot. Like, it's there, and it's not going away. And my body is feeling it, but it's not as much of a death knell as I thought it was going to be.
It's getting worse now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's getting bad. Not quite to the same level as the ghost pepper one, but... I just swallowed...
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's still there. Oh, it's getting worse, yeah. Oh.
So, I've been getting some emails here at this.
Yeah, you have.
My dad, mom, they aren't actually on Twitch, so they send me emails because they can't actually...
They can't send messages. We appreciate you, Jimmy's mom and dad. We shall call you Jimmy Mom and Jimmy Dad.
They wanted to thank us and said that we're an amazing duo. For Josh, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. This has been...
It was fun. It was fun. I mean, whew, that was good.
Yes, it was good. So we don't have a final question, but I think this is a good point to. I know we've been talking about game day, but we are. Excuse me.
Oh.
We're at the last. The main event is coming. The main event is game day. So we talked about the Triforce Hunt. The one thing, as much as we talked about it being hot sauce, we have neglected to mention that I'm doing some crowd control games. And what exactly crowd control? So I'm going to take a minute or two just to talk about that.
That's good. That's good.
So if you're not familiar with crowd control, basically... Oh, thanks, Risen. I appreciate the call out. Yeah.
Woo! Jimmy Mom, Jimmy Dad.
So crowd control is an ability for you to turn Twitch bits into coins, which you can then use to mess with my game. So for Legend of Zelda specifically, that can be everything from inverting my controls to all the way up to just outright killing me directly.
Yeah. So the options on that one, go pretty wild. In inverted controls, making the floor feel like ice, so ice physics, so he slides around a lot. Death. Just making enemies pop in and surround him at random times. Taking away ammo and bombs is a great one too, because it can really mess with him. There's some real great messing around with Jimmy options.
There's also, you can give me things too, but
you can be nice, but nobody's going to be nice. We want to see Jimmy suffer, right?
We have an ad starting in 30 seconds. Once again, I donate 100% of the revenue this channel earns. I've tried to keep the minimum, which means they're an hour for 30 seconds. So that's going to start in about 10 seconds. Please just bear with me on that ad. All of it is always going toward the cause. So we'll not talk anymore about crowd control until you get back, and see you on the other side. And for anyone who is, still here through the ad, how you feeling, Josh?
Like we said, I am not dying in the same way I was with the other one, but that one hasn't left me.
I'm just meaning overall. Are you regretting doing this?
Oh no, this was fantastic. Awesome. I got to try out some fun hot sauces and 2 terrible hot sauces that murdered me, but I got to try out some really nice hot sauces before that.
I'm going to say this much though, as much as this was absolute murder, the initial flavor was really tasty.
Oh no, I didn't taste any initial flavor. I just tasted murder. This one, so Ghost Pepper tastes like murder.
Yeah.
Reaper tastes like death. But all of these, the first 8, I can wholeheartedly recommend as good hot sauces.
The one I would recommend instead of this though is they actually have a Carolina Reaper and Black Cherry.
Oh.
Black Cherry.
Oh.
And I will say this much, I actually enjoyed that one.
Oh.
Pretty sure I would have liquefied by now. You two are impressive. Oh. Risen, thank you. I appreciate that.
So if you've been here, we can wholeheartedly recommend any of these hot sauces. There's some delicious sauces in here.
Sorry, no, let me clarify.
Sorry.
This, and that is the Frank's Red Hot. I don't recommend this hot sauce. I had it here because it's cheap. So as a price point comparison, take anything else here, and you can see the sizes in comparison between the Dawsons and the Frank's Red Hot. This is the same price as 2 of these. So, I mean, what you're getting is not overly good hot sauce, but it's cheap.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind getting not so great hot sauce and you just want to put something on stuff, that's when I go for the Frank's hot sauce. It's something spicy that doesn't cost a lot. If you want something that's good though, I'd recommend anything else is here.
Anything else?
I mean, I know Supernova here, we said it's not very spicy, but this is just their garlic jalapeno. They have a lot of other spicier ones. So I would say if you want a kick, there are plenty of kicks to choose from. If you want something on the lower end, that's when you go for that jalapeno.
Yeah.
Josh, do you have anything final you want to say? Because I think we've done a good job of covering everything.
Covering all the stuff. Thank you for everybody who's participated, who's joined us for our impending doom of hot sauces. We look forward to doing this again for you later.
Yes.
And you know, thank you for all the money that people have donated for various for these incentives, but also just for the good cause that is Extra Life, the Sick Kids Hospital.
Teodora, George, Andy, thank you all for sending questions in advance. Risen, thank you for being here for pretty well the entire time. Thank you for the question. It was very on point.
Yeah.
Very much up my alley. That I appreciate that.
And it saved me from fumbling about with terrible questions.
Thank you all for joining us. I think we're going to call the stream here. So I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday night. I will actually be back here tomorrow night doing more Xenoblade Chronicles X. So if you would like to partake in me killing things with giant robots, we'll see you here tomorrow night. Otherwise, have a great one.